What's up, guys? It's your boy Justin, back with another comic review for you guys today. For people who don't know, Christmas month continues until January 1st, so we still have some more reviews to go, right? And I hope you guys all had a great Christmas this year, right? So yeah, let's get on with this review. Today we're reviewing the... Man, I already damaged this book. I just bought it a couple weeks ago. Oh well. This is DC Universe Christmas, which goes for 20 US, 31 Canadian. I got this at the comic book store for only like $10, right? You gave me a deal on it. And, and you have the beautiful art. This came out in 2000, right? And it has cheap paper, but it's alright. So this book features like short stories from the DC universe, right? It came out in 2000, like I said. We'll go for the table of contents. The first one is Batman and Wanted Santa Claus Dead or Alive, originally published in Superstar Holiday Special from 1980, written by Danny O'Neil with art by Frank Miller, right? The second one is The Flash in Present Tense. This one's from 1997 by Mark Waid and Brian Augustine with art by Paul Ryan. Wonder Woman and the Story of Burr Falsum. That came from Sensation Comics 14 from February 1943, written by William Moulton Marston, which I think that's the original creator. I could be wrong on that. Superman and the Gift, originally published in DCU Holiday Bash 2, 1998, by Dan Jurgens. Teen Titans in the Swing Christmas Carol, Teen Titans 13 from 1968, written by Paul Haney with art by Nick Cardy. Dark Side in Present Tense from DCU Holiday Bash 1998 by Ty Templeton. Captain Marvel and Billy Batson Xmas, right, from 1947. Writer unknown but penciler in ink by Pete Costanza. Robin and Alone for the Holidays from DC Holiday Bash 3 from 1999. Writer Chuck Dixon and Gordon Parcell. Legion of Superheroes and Starlight, Starbright, Farthest Star I See Tonight. From Superstar Holiday Special DC Special Series 21, 1980 by Paul Levitz and Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and The Presents DCU Holiday Bash 2nd, 1998 by Devin K. Grayson, William Rosano. Not that Green Lantern, Green Arrow, it's a different one. House of Mystery and the Night Prowler from 1971 by Len Wein and Byrne Wrightson. Batman, Harley Quinn, and Poison Ivy, and the Harley and the Ivy from Batman Adventure Holiday Special 1995. Writer Paul Dini with art by Ronnie Del Carmen. Sandman and Santa Fronts for the Mob from 1943 by Joe Simon, Jack Kirby. Batlash and Eye for a Detail from 1999. Chuck Dixon with Quinque Alatano from DCU Holiday Bash 3. Enemy Ace and Silent Night. Christmas with the Superheroes 2, 1988 by John Byrne with finished art by Andy Kubert. And Paulson, No Bart, There Is No Santa Claus. DCU Holiday Bash, January 1999, Mark Waid and Devin Grayson. Penciler Craig Russo. And the last one is Superman Christmas Adventure from Superman's Christmas Adventure 1940, written by Jerry Siegel with art by Jack Burnley. Yeah, so that's all. Like I didn't even count how many stories there are. So yeah, this is the first one, Wanted Christmas Dead or Alive, right? Where Batman, here you can tell it's Jack Kirby's art right away. Though I think Danny O'Neil did the Batman, because the Batman looks different. Yeah, like this one is like, I honestly don't remember that much. But yeah, this one was good. It's like, I think it was like about like a criminal ex-con is like asked to, like, help rob a mall, and like he changes his mind and gets held by gunpoint by the criminals, and Batman goes to rescue him, right? So that was a cool story, you know. And there's like a Christmas miracle at the end. This one is like the Flash, not Barry Allen Flash, Wally West Flash, where Wally, and this one reminded me of the Justice League Unlimited cartoon Christmas episode where well, there was like a bunch of stories in that one, but like the one with Wally West was he was going around the world to get a gift for some kids. Here he's going around the world to get a gift for his girlfriend, and he totally forgot what she wanted for Christmas. So he goes around the world to buy her random gifts, and keeps stumbling upon this ugly sweater, right? And at the end of the issue, he realized that she wanted nothing for Christmas, just for him to listen to her more. So he buys her that ugly sweater, right? Here's the Wonder Woman Christmas story, and this one I think was the most memorable because it was super dark. This one, you can tell it took place in 1943 because there's German soldier spies in the comic book, and they're the bad guys. But yeah, this book, you have narration from this tree on top of a mountain, right? Who wants to be a Christmas tree? Which reminded me of this Christmas cartoon from back in the day. I forget what it was called. Christopher the Christmas Tree? I can't remember. Right? But it reminds me that this story is about how these two kids. I think I missed this page because I totally didn't remember this. I don't know. I think I missed this page when I was reading the book. Oh my god, that happens sometimes. But yeah, this book is about like how on Christmas, right? These two kids' mother gets accused of adultery by the husband because the husband sees the mother get hit on by this German immigrant who turns out to be a German soldier spy, and he beats him up and kicks his wife out of the house, and gets rid of the Christmas tree, gets rid of the presents, right? And the kids are like, "Dad, can we at least go see Mom on Christmas?" "No, and I'll learn you to forget that when your friends to beat them," right? So yeah, like a year later, the kids want to go see their mom on Christmas, get lost, and get kidnapped by two German soldier spies, right? And while this is going on, the tree is narrating. The dad also gets kidnapped by the German soldier spies, and Wonder Woman comes to rescue them, right? They even like kidnap the mom, right? And the book, sorry, the story ends with basically Wonder Woman saving the day using the tree on the lonely mountain, and she replants it but takes the top off and gives it to the family to celebrate Christmas, right? And yeah, that's how the book ends. So there's like a really, how like people say that there's like S&M shit in like the old Wonder Woman stories? Well, here you see like Wonder Woman pretends to get tied up, right? And Wonder Woman gets used as a human, like what the fuck is this called? Like a, oh my gosh, he uses her as like as a thing, as a thing to stop like to lock the door, right? I forget what the fuck that thing is called, but yeah. So like he leaves her alone, right? She's chained to the bars, right? And there's a kid on the other side of the door who's trying to bust out of the room, right? And the door is hitting Wonder Woman on the bum, on the ass, and she's like, ouch, stop spanking me, I'll be good. It's Wonder Woman. Gee, I'm Teddy Carter. Mom's locked in here with me. All right, Teddy, hold your horses. I'll leave you. I'll have you out of there. She breaks out and breaks open the fucking door. So it's like, what the fuck is this? So it's like, this is when people say that the old Wonder Woman comics had S&M shit. You know, that's true. Plus, there was like a movie. I don't know how true the movie is, but there's like a movie about the Wonder Woman creator. And how he had like he had a wife and a mistress, and they had like a bisexual thing going on between the mistress and the wife. I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's yeah. So yeah, here you get like a short story where Superman ruins his cape saving the world, right? And at the end of the comic, which was only 2 pages. He gets a new cape from either Santa Claus or his parents. Who knows? So here we get like Teen Titans comics, right, where they do their own version of A Christmas Carol, right, where you have this guy named Scrounge who owns a junkyard, right, and you know he's a cheap guy. There's no heating in his like office, which is an old like school bus. The Ratchet character, Bob, what's his name? I can't remember. The guy who works for him has a kid who's in a crippled kid in a wheelchair called Tiny Tom, who his dad is saving up to get him an electric chair. Right. It turns out that Scrounge is renting out the junkyard to criminals that deliver old junk, and they have a special ray that turns the old junk new, and they're selling the merchandise, right? Which is like, doesn't sound that big of a deal, but like, you know, Tiny Tom rats out Scrunch to the Teen Titans, right? And you have this like, you know, Teen Titans try to capture the importers, right? The hoods who are, you know, ripping off the. I guess it's a crime because they're importing goods without paying taxes or whatever. Doesn't seem that big of a deal, but whatever, right? But yeah, like they play like they do like a Christmas Carol thing, right? To make like, you know, Scrounge turn a new leaf, which is this was probably one of the better Christmas stories in this book, right? Next, yeah, and the art's pretty good too, right? Next Christmas story is like Darkseid. Darkseid his planet is being invaded by Santa Claus, and Santa Claus shows up to deliver him a lump of coal, and they try to destroy Santa Claus. Next, you have Billy Batman Christmas, where the original Captain Marvel, before he was called Shazam, Billy Batson, is trying to get Christmas gifts buy Christmas gifts for everybody, right? And like he sees like there's this faulty electric train that lights this guy's beard on fire. There's a fire, he pulls it out, but like the dude fires the Santa Claus because he thinks he was smoking on the job when it was really a faulty electric train. And Captain Marvel, helps the guy get his job back, right? So next you have the Chuck Dixon Robin story where Robin's alone for the holidays, right? And he's sad and depressed, but realizes he's not actually alone. He has the Batman family. Minus Batman. Where's Batman? And then who the fuck is this guy? Who knows, right? Next, you have Legion of Superheroes and Star Bright. This is probably the second best story here, where it's like Superboy, which I think this is supposed to be a young Superman before he became Superman. I'm not 100% sure. It was like that in the Legion of Superheroes cartoon. I don't know if that's the same here, but yeah, he goes to the future to spend time with the Legion of Superheroes, right? And convinces them to go looking for the special star that was on like the three wise men saw on the birth of Jesus Christ that led them to the manger or whatever. And they go on this journey. They find this planet where you have these three races of aliens that are dying. It looks hopeless, but Superman comes up with a plan to save all three races of aliens on the planet by having them work together, right? And it's a Christmas miracle, right? Next, you have the Green Lantern and Green Arrow story, where it's Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern, and the Green Arrow is Connor. I forget the guy's name. He's Green Arrow's son. So yeah, they go shopping last minute for Christmas, and you have this guy hacks the computer security system and tries to shoot people, but Green Arrow and Green Lantern stop them. And Green Arrow is a Buddhist, and he gives the shooter, the mall shooter, sob story, right? Next, you have House of Mystery, where House of Mystery was I think a DC old horror comic, and here it's there's a night prowler going around breaking into people's houses, and the guy goes to investigate, and it turns out it was Santa Claus. Right? He goes back to bed. So you have this Paul Dini, Harley, and Ivy story where they kidnap Bruce Wayne. They have apparently Poison Ivy has mind control lipstick, right? And she has Bruce Wayne buy Ivy and Harley a bunch of shit for Christmas Eve, right? And until it wears off, and then Batman shows up to try to arrest him. Here you have the Sandman and Sandy, right? This is a Joe Simon and Jack Kirby story. I guess Jack Kirby did the art. And this story was pretty cool. You have these crooks. Hear about how this mall is failing. This department store is failing, right? And because they have a lousy Santa Claus, so they recruit this wrestler called Mountain Man Bird to play as a Santa Claus, and ask the rich kids where they live, so Santa Claus can deliver gifts for them, so the crooks can rob the rich kids, right? But Sandman and Sandy intervenes with the wrestler Mountain Man Beard. They didn't know that was going on, so he joins forces with Sandman and Sandy. I like this story. It was pretty good. Here's the Batlash story with Chuck Dixon, right? Where I guess Batlash, who's a Western comic book character, who was voiced by John Crichton from Farscape in the Justice League Universe cartoon. I forget the actor's name. I think it's Ben Browden or something. I can't remember. But yeah. So yeah, Batlash is hungry, and it's Christmas, so he decides to stop by this house, And it turns out there's an old man and his daughter are held hostage by these bandits who are trying to sign over the deed of the farm to these guys, and Batlash saves them, right? And then has Christmas dinner with them after kissing the hot daughter under the mistletoe. Here's the Silent Night story with Enemy Ace. I'm not too familiar with Enemy Ace. From what I can tell, he's a World War I German fighter pilot, and this is a John Byrne story with Andy Kubert helping with the art. And the art was pretty cool. There's hardly any dialogue. And it's basically Enemy Ace delivers supplies to this hospital, right? And dances with one of the nurses. And this injured guy is not too happy with Enemy Ace dancing with the nurse he likes. So he threatens to shoot him. But one of the injured soldiers who who lost his leg that was fighting with him earlier, stops him. And he's like, hey, it's fucking Christmas, guy. Take it easy. So now, here's the story with Impulse, where Impulse wants a game for Christmas. And it's kind of like that Bart Simpson Christmas episode where Bart Simpson wants a Christmas game. Sorry, wants a video game. But here, it's like Bart gets into a fight with Max Mercury, because Max Mercury doesn't believe in Santa Claus, and you know, he takes him to the North Pole and shows him, hey, there's no Santa Claus. And then like Bart Allen thinks like, oh, Santa Claus is kidnapped, and decides to play as Santa Claus, but runs out of gifts, so he goes to the game company that has the new hot game, and is like, hey, can I have copies of your new game to give to people for Christmas? And he's like, yeah, we have a bunch of demo discs you can take, right? So he delivers that to people all over the world, right? And then for, like, originally Bart gave out all the Christmas gifts under the tree to people, but when they come home, there's a bunch of Christmas presents under the tree, including the game that Bart wanted for Christmas, right? So the last story in this, collection is an old Superman comic, where Superman is like, Superman's kind of a dick in this one. Superman with Lois goes to the department store, sees a bunch of poor kids, right, looking at the gifts, right, and decides to give like toys for the poor kids by having a toy drive. And Superman sees this spoiled rich kid and decides to guilt trip the rich kid into giving toys to the poor kids, right? Right? Which is kind of like, that's not the nicest thing to do. Also, you have these two guys who, for some reason, who are called Mr. Meanie and Mr. Grouch, who have a fucking spaceship, and who tried to get Santa Claus and to stop making toys for kids, to make, like, shit for them to sell, like products for them to sell, commercial products to sell. And Santa Claus and his elves chase them away, right? Only for them to come back, to fuck with, the Lois and Clark's toy drive, and fuck with Santa Claus, including they even kidnapped the reindeer. So Santa and fucking put Lois Lane in a rocket ship, right? And like, the comic ends with, Superman saving the day, right? And Santa Claus gives, like, gifts for the two old men, and they become good guys. Okay, so what did I think about this book? I liked the stories in the book, right? It was way better than that 2019 DC Universe Christmas collection, right? Yeah, I like the book. There's some cool stories. I like the art. Right, nice to see some classic, Silver Age, Bronze Age stories mixed in one collection. Right, you get some great talent with like John Byrne and Frank Miller. Right, yeah, I enjoyed this book, and I would totally recommend this. Yeah, so if I were to give this a rating, I would say 7 out of 10. If you can get it for, I would say, less than $20, it's totally worth it. Right, that's it for this review, guys. Peace. Oh, and our next review, we're either going to review this or Avengers Forever. So let me know which one you would like to see.